And you should never, ever, ever use this fat in your air fryer. Hey friends, if you're new to my channel, my name is Shelly. I'm a registered dietitian specializing in weight loss using the keto, low carb, and anti-inflammatory lifestyle. It is a lifestyle that I embraced about 5 years ago when I could not get rid of my last 15 pounds of baby weight, had terrible issues with my hormones, switched over to keto, threw out what I learned in school, haven't looked back since, and I run a clinic where I teach women how to lose weight. And if you're interested in this lifestyle, you're definitely gonna wanna subscribe to our channel. You all know my love of the air fryer. The air fryer makes food taste great. I have a ton of air fryer recipes on this channel, but there is a huge mistake that you are making, and that is you are using the wrong oil and the wrong fat. This is my baby right here. This is a Philips air fryer, and it really doesn't matter what air fryer you have. You need to use the right oil, or as sometimes we say, fat. And why is that? There's two reasons. Number one is smoke point, and number two is taste. And smoke point, in a sense, is what the words say. It is the point where the oil or the fat begins to smoke. Well, guess what? We don't want that. We don't want our air fryer to smoke. And when an oil reaches its smoke point, it breaks down its healthful properties and it starts to turn rancid. Translation, it starts to stink really bad.
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
And it's gonna taste like a hot mess, and your kids are gonna throw the food across the table. So we don't wanna break smoke point with the oil. But the other thing we wanna do is we wanna go by taste, because certain oils are neutral and certain oils definitely do have a very strong flavor. But before I go over my list of the best oils and fats to use in the air fryer, let's go over the ones that we don't wanna use, shall we? Let's go. So one of the first oils I never tell folks to use is soybean oil. Now, soybean oil is a huge no-no in our clinic. It can cause inflammation. We don't want to use it. It doesn't matter that it was grown, blah, 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 blah. No matter what scientist says, blah, blah, is that we do not want to use this oil in our cooking for health purposes. Now, its smoke point is fine, but we're just gonna X out soybean oil. The next one that we're gonna X out to use in our air fryer is vegetable oil. Now, a lot of us do have vegetable oil in our cabinets because it is neutral. So that means, hey, its taste isn't bad. Vegetable oil can also have a pretty good smoke point, but for health purposes, because hey, we find that some of these vegetable oils can increase inflammation, we're gonna X that bad boy out. And my final one really breaks my heart, and you should never, ever, ever use this in the air fryer because of its smoke point, and that is butter. Now, folks will say, well, how would I use butter in the air fryer? I use usually a non-stick cooking spray. True, but some folks do melt butter and they'll kind of brush it on the meat product. Some folks, you'll see commercials where they put like the little slab of the butter on top of the meat and bake it in the oven or serve it to us at a nice restaurant. It's not something you want to throw in the air fryer. Its smoke point being in the lower 300 range, we typically are cooking items at about 350 or above. So we definitely would break that smoke point. We definitely would get some smoke. It'd be pretty stinky, and then we would have a ruined product, which we definitely don't want. Before I head into my favorite oils to use in the air fryer, I want to remind you, if you're looking for a 7-day keto, low carb, and anti-inflammatory meal plan, you can scroll in our description box, click on that link, and it'll be delivered right to your email. And without further ado, gang, let's go over my favorites. My first one, it's not necessarily a favorite of mine. It is a favorite in the keto world, and that is coconut oil. And this is where I have to argue with some folks, because I do get a little nervous because coconut oil does have some saturated fat in there. But here's the thing with the air fryer. We are typically using 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon max of oil in our entire dish. So it's not like we're dunking the food in there and it's just corroded with it and we're just drinking it and we're taking shots of it or anything like that. If you're using it in a spray, that is perfectly fine. But remember, and my personal opinion is, I actually do not like the taste of coconut oil. I'm one of those weird few. I feel like it's very strong, and coconut oil really works only in certain recipes. So just be careful, because the taste can be altered. But yes, you can use coconut oil. It has a very nice smoke point that will work in the air fryer. Our next oil has a slight bit of controversy around it, and that is olive oil.
Olive oil goes back into the pan.
And the reason it has controversy behind it is not because it's not an awesomely healthy oil for us. In fact, it is my favorite oil to use. It's a monounsaturated fat. I think its taste is just wonderful.
Let's have a little bit of olive oil.
There's so many infused olive oils, so you can have just great different flavor.
Put some olive oil, just a couple of tablespoons.
It makes a great Christmas present. I could literally go on and on about my love of olive oil.
Drizzle that with some olive oil.
But you have to be careful because there's different types of olive oils, and that we use our air fryer at a little bit of a higher temperature. We have to be super careful that we don't break its smoke point. Typically speaking, all of your olive oils, from your extra virgin to your regular, are in about that 350 range for your smoke point. Note that your air fryer can go up into that 400 range. Now, most of the recipes I use in here are about that 350 range, so I'm very comfortable using my air fryer. However, if you want to use a better olive oil, the one that has the highest smoke point, it is extra light olive oil. Note I said extra light, not extra virgin. Extra light olive oil typically comes in a bottle, and what you would have to do is you would get an oil mister. Now, I have a description below how you can order one of these, and you would pour the extra light olive oil in here and spray it. The smoke point for extra light is in about the 440 to 460 range, making it great for the air fryer, but please make sure you are getting extra light. But again, if you're cooking in about the 360 range, your regular olive oils should be okay.
Also a little bit of olive oil.
Now, the next one is an answer to my folks who love butter and who like to put butter on top of items, and that is ghee. Me personally, I don't use ghee in here. I just use my olive oils and I just use my avocado oils, which we'll talk about in a second. But ghee can work in the air fryer. It has a very high smoke point. At 485, it's one of the highest. And then finally, numero uno of the best oil to use in the air fryer is avocado oil. Avocado oil has a smoke point in the lower 500 range, so it's definitely not going to be burned. You can still use the mister. You can pour your avocado oil in here. They do sell it kind of in a non-stick version. The great thing also about avocado oil, it is very neutral. So that means that we can use it in a savory dish and a sweet dish. It can be all around used. Now, one of my tips, notice I list 4 oils that we love, or fats, because ghee is a fat. You don't have to overload your cabinet with all of these oils, and really focus on using those in your keto low carb lifestyle. Avocado oil is a monounsaturated fat, therefore making it fit not only in keto plans, but most of our plans, even a vegan plan that it can fit into. Okay, friends, which oil is your favorite to use in the air fryer? We're a community, list it below. And after you list that, I want you to click right here so you can watch all of our videos on air frying vegetables. I'm Shelly Gang. Mwah! Everyone take care.
Little bit of olive oil.